This is a laptop I bought from eBay about 3 years ago and it cost me £20. It's the GeoBook laptop and it's covered in stickers, and it's the GeoBook 1E. And as you can see, I've lost some of the screws, and some of the screws are under these little feet. So I've got one here. Let me put that back there and hopefully it'll stay there. It's got a USB port, headphone, micro SD, and then on this side USB, power, mini HDMI, and then also USB-C, which luckily will also charge the device. So that's handy because it didn't come with the charger, so I have been using USB charging for all of its life. And the keyboard is a bit floppy, it's a little bit kind of flimsy, and it's got 4 GB of RAM and a Celeron processor, 2.4 gigahertz, but it kind of does the job. It came with I think I put Windows 11 on it and it's worked pretty well for quite a long time. It's not the fastest laptop. It's not got a great keyboard. Battery works in it though, and it's quite handy because I can use it and not worry about it too much. So it's been with me to various places when I've been traveling, and the Wi-Fi signal is okay on it. I don't use the webcam, but Windows is fine. So here we are in Windows 11. I've moved the taskbar to the left and I've used it for MP3 and music playback. Battery is at 1%. Use various different browsers on here. Type VNC to connect to my virtual machine, or rather my virtual server, or rather my machine that I run virtual machines on. And yeah, it probably needs to do some updates. And I think it's probably time for me to give this away, because for the last sort of while I've been using this Lenovo over here, which is a 300E 2nd gen, and this has similar specifications. It's considerably heavier, but it's also considerably tougher, and unfortunately it does have a reflective screen, but the quality of this laptop feels noticeably better. The keyboard is nicer. I think the trackpad's better. It doesn't feel as flimsy, and it's got a rubberized edge that makes it feel like it's much more likely to survive. It's got a USB, micro SD, volume control on the side, headphone socket, USB, and it is actually powered by USB as standard. And then it's got full-size HDMI, so I can connect this to other screens without having to use a little adapter. So that's another benefit of this. I'm not sure if you can really tell on the video, but the screen brightness on this does seem better. Let me just see if I can bring up the settings. So it's 1366 by 768. This is also the same resolution, and this has got more contrast. It's a little bit yellower, and this is a little bit bluer. Oh, and this is also a touchscreen, and you can fold it back and use it as a tablet if you want, although that's not my personal preference. I do like having a keyboard on a laptop. Okay, so I've brought up the processor, and this is quite interesting. This is an N4020, and this is an N4120, base speed 1.1 gigahertz and turbo speeds 2.7 gigahertz. But this is dual core, this is quad core, so the performance on this should be better. This has got 4 gigabytes of RAM, this has got 4 gigabytes of RAM, and then there is an SD or eMMC type drive, or an SD card type drive as the main chip for storage, or the boot drive. This one is called generic MMC 64G, and this one is called generic SLD 64G. But yeah, these aren't the fastest, but we may as well compare them. So in terms of drive performance, this has got a 260 megabyte a second read speed, 141 megabyte a second write speed. This one's 233 megabytes read speed, but 212 megabytes write speed, so that's an improvement there, but not as fast as, say, an SSD drive. This one does support having a another drive added, so that's an option for this one. And there's another video on this where I tear this down. In fact, there's a video of this where I tear this down. And both processors use 6 watts, so that's really low, which helps with the battery life. But let's have a look at the performance if we run the bench on CPU Z. So over here we're getting 418, 419. Over here we're getting 784. Not fast, but faster than this one. So, you know, almost twice the performance if you're generous. And single core rating over here a little bit better. So let's see, Core 2 Duo is 530. i5 7600 is, you know, much faster, but this is getting to the point where it's quicker than this one. So that's a benefit. Even though it's not particularly quick, it's still reasonable for light use, web browsing, YouTube, that kind of thing. This one is getting better performance, and the battery life on this is quite impressive as well. Even though I bought it secondhand from eBay for about £33, I think this was a really good deal. And you can just use your finger on the touchscreen, but you can also use a pencil because it's designed for use in schools and for education and things like that. So this one is easy to type on, and it's not too loud. Feels quite firm when typing on it, quite easy to touch type. This one, so yeah, this one is a little louder, feels a little flimsy, and you can feel the bend when typing, but the keys are well spaced, and once you get used to it, you know, touch typing is quite straightforward, so it's not too bad considering. But I think the trackpad, again, it's acceptable. It's not perfect. If you go around bending this, you notice that it flexes, whereas this one feels much more solid. But yeah, I think with this laptop, I now have something that is an improvement over this. The battery life is definitely very good on this. I can use it over several days, not even think about charging it, whereas often I'd come back to this, and even if it's been switched off, I need to charge it again. But I think, you know, I'll give this away, and if you're in the UK, want to make a video on this or something like that, get in touch. Can quite easily post this, or I might give it away locally. But if you've got this far, thank you for watching. I think I'll be planning on doing maybe less videos, but perhaps more interesting. But we'll see. I guess, you know, what's interesting to one person might not be interesting to another. And some of the videos I post, I think nobody's going to be interested, but they get a crazy or a large amount of views, like the E-System PC that's just really, really bog standard in terms of PC and specification, but seem to get a lot of views. But yeah, there may be maybe 2 videos a week rather than 3, but hopefully they'll still be interesting and enjoyable to watch. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other, and see you in another video. Bye.